stepping in. Your one-stop review, let it sink in. Hip-hop vibes, we break it down. Laughs and insights all around. Every episode, spitting truth. Old school jams and the latest youth. We keep it real, no sugarcoat. Pop culture on the mic we wrote. So tell your friends and hit subscribe. Make cinema here to vibe. Tune in weekly, don't miss a beat. We're the hottest review in your street. Snake Cinema Podcast, stepping in. You want stop review, let it sink in. Hip hop vibe, we break it down. Laughs and insights all around.
What it do? Welcome to another great episode of Snake Cinema Podcast. I'm your host, Prince Elias, and today we have a great episode for y'all. But before we begin, let's pay these bills. This episode and every episode is brought to you by Mutation Station, Lucyland, Ball Pythons, Candy Lady Creations, Flexing and Finessing Reptiles, and Shed Outfitters. Thank y'all for supporting your boy. Life and animal update news. Everything's great. Next month, the breeding season will begin. I do have a possible pair that I will do, and can't wait for that. It will be my campfire Raja cinnamon calico inchy het pied, and I will discuss later what male will go to her as we try to get some more calicos under our belts, and yeah, all that jazz. I'm super pumped, super excited. We also have another show coming up in November that we will be vending. More on that soon. But now that I got vending under my belt, having a show under my belt, I can't wait to get it popping. It's going to be at a horror convention, and it's going to be so much fun. A bunch of actors from different horror movies, from Sleepaway Camp to the Friday the 13th to Night of the Living Dead. It's going to be a bunch of dope people coming, and it's going to be a good time. And of course, I will be there. I'm trying to figure out how I can do technology wise as far as live streaming that event, so I can see a little behind the scenes of me vending. But we'll figure that out when November comes. But yeah, everything is good. Everything's growing. Everything is eating well. And I do have a vlog coming up. If I don't post it today, I'm recording it today. If I don't edit it and post it today, it will definitely be posted on Monday. And it's introducing y'all to a banger male that I've been acquired months and months ago from my mentors, but he's finally home. So I'm super excited. I'll give you a hint. I'm in the ultra male gang for real. And that's one of the recessives that I am working on, that I'm focusing on paint, ultra male, and pieds, mostly as far as recessives. Then of course, y'all know I got Project Dark Mode, all the darkest genes I could ever collect, with the top being blackhead. But we got a little extra stuff trickled in there, a little extra seasonings trickled in my projects, like the good old cypress and things like that, and bongo and pretty much anything in those type of complexes I like. So we're going to do a lot of lead combos, that aren't lethal, and a lot of different combinations, a few supers, like super blackhead is going to be major for me, but we'll worry about that when we worry about that. Right now, these babies are just growing up, getting to know me. I'm getting to know them. We're learning together, living peaceful harmony. But also, let's see. Speaking of We got my merch shop. Speaking of, I got two merch shops. I have all my t-shirts and hats, tumbler cups. I don't know if y'all can see that. Mugs, water bottles are made by our sponsor Candy at Candy Lady Creation. So please hit her up. She do now have a new page because her old one got hacked on Instagram. So it's Candy Lady Creations 1 on Instagram, and then Candy Lady Creations on Facebook, and also her Riptile page, Ohana Scales with the Z on Instagram. So you have three different ways of contacting her for your merch, but her official merch is Candy Lady Creations 1 on Instagram. But she does all that merch. But I also have a Printify shop for accessories like bags and things of that nature. It's mostly bags and shoes that are made. And let me show y'all our newest product. Now, this design is for my second channel, Shed Yourself Vlogs. If you're not subscribed to that channel, please follow that channel. That's my weight loss, lifestyle, trans centered vlog station where I pretty much document my life outside of the reptile. So if I travel, the travel videos go there. And things like that. And when I do my workouts, like I signed up for a 5K and a 10 miler. So I'm challenging myself physically. And so all those vlogs, all that documentation, all those gym videos will be on that. But so this is what that design is. But I also have this in Creative Reptiles and Snake Cinema podcast designs. But we now have sling bags, custom sling bags. And so again, this is for the Shed Yourself channel, but we also have the Creative Reptiles, the Creative Reptiles channel with Jafar logo. We have that in a sling bag, and we also have the Snake Cinema podcast logo on a sling bag. So if you want to support your boy, right here on this link, creative/reptiles.printify/products. Because these are brand new products on Printify, the display picture is not the best, but you can see the design, what it'll look like. And so this is what the bag looks like. It's very adjustable sling. It fits my big chest, and y'all know my chest is big. My big man boobs. But it has wide indoor pockets. Like I already got stuff in it because I'm going play. It got some little side pockets, and then a little zipper. And me and Chris from Flex and Finessing, who also has a fitness channel called Cold Blooded Gangs, and he has a podcast about fitness. We both have matching bags because I sent him one because he's been supporting my channel and supporting me for the longest time. So I sent him a bag. So we now are twinsies. But yeah, so sling bags are now in effect, and slide sandals and croc shoes. They now have those croc type shoes. So Creative Reptiles, Snakes in a Podcast, and Shed Yourself Vlogs. You can get you some croc shoes, you get you some slides, all at this Printify shop. And of course, all your t-shirts, hoodies, hats, tumbler mugs, water bottles are from Candy at Candy Lady Creations 1 on Instagram. So please support both of those. And lastly, before we, speaking of, I mentioned this last week, but again, I am raising money for cancer because I'm running a 5K and a 10 miler, and my fundraising page is right here. Donate whatever you can, whatever is possible. But I have until, you don't have to rush. I'm not rushing anybody. I have until March to have all the money raised. So whatever God puts on your heart, whatever, or at least just share this link out, copy this link and share it out on your socials. That's all I ask. Now, let's talk to the peoples in the chitty chitty chain chain. Let's see. Of course, speaking, my compound brother, Bosa brother. Thank you for tapping in. Let me put my background back on so y'all don't see this horrible wall. Ba, 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 bam. Thank you for tapping in, Vinny. Yo, Vinny. Bone Daddy Serpents, thank you for tapping in. If you don't have a egg cutting board, you need to order one from Vinny. Um, I have two from him, one with Snake Cinema Podcast logo and one with my first clutch on there. And I love them both. I can't wait when I do my second clutch and all future clutches. I'm doing it on those egg cutting boards. So can't wait, can't wait. I look forward to those. But right now they're just hanging up on the dresser in my house, looking all nice and fancy. But yes, please support Bone Daddy Service. And he has some good heat. He got some good snakes too. He hashed out his snakes hashed out. I forgot what he did on here down. He showed us some babies that were like fire, fire. I don't know if they're all holdbacks, but tap in with Vinny, look at his Instagram page, Bone Daddy Serpents, and see what he got available. He might have a morph market too, but check him out because he don't sleep on Vinny and don't sleep on the butterflies. I know y'all, I know I just said that my new pickup is ultra male, but I actually do like Monarch too. I like both. And I plan on working both because I'm working dark jeans. So, but I don't want to get a Monarch until I get one from my boy Vinny. I'm supporting my boy. So I'm waiting on him so I can get me some Monarch in the game, but don't sleep on Bone Daddy Serpents. Thank you, Bosa. Shout out to Bosa. Always support. And yes, he put the link to my second YouTube channel on there. I'm excited. I'm excited. I got to record two videos today. One a gym video, workout video, and then the next is what's in my content creator bag, where I talk about how I record my vlogs and stuff and what all equipment I use. So those vlogs are coming up. I'm excited. I do enjoy um, making content outside of reptiles. Even though I love reptiles, I'm not gonna stop building this channel because this channel has gotten me so much. But and I gotta make some more reptile related content. But I am enjoying my Shed Yourself vlogs, um, and I like, and it helps me be accountable. If I'm not working out, that means I have nothing to record and to post. So it makes me work out because I like, yo, I gotta go work out. I gotta go walk. I gotta go hit the gym. I gotta go lift weights because I got a vlog to put up. So it kind of helps me be accountable in that sense. But that's not what y'all hear. Y'all here for some reviews. Let's see. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely, Bosa. Please order sling bag. Um, or unless you talk about Vinny's cutting boards, definitely order that too. Order that too. Order everything. All the merch, all the merch. Bear in the Grove. Shout out to Bear. I think Bear is um vending this weekend in Missouri. He's from Kansas City, Missouri, but he's vended in St. Louis and a bunch of other towns around. So shout out to Bear and also Maki. They usually vend together. So good luck this weekend, Bear. Good luck. Good luck. Hope you sell some geckos and have a good time. So have fun. And I will see y'all in December for the Reptiles and Plant Expo. So cannot wait. It's gonna be so much fun. I'm contemplating. I might just fly into Kansas City instead of making that 6 hour drive because I'm lazy and driving on the road is boring to me. Brittany's life. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you for always supporting. Good morning. Yes, yes. So you are vending to this weekend. Good luck. Good luck. All right. I'm excited about what I am reviewing today. One was recommended by my channel sponsor Candy at Candy Lady Creations. It was a couple of weeks ago. We were on Beyond the Skills podcast. Shout out to the Wild Bunch, the BTS crew. We were on Beyond the Skills podcast, and she said, "Man, have you seen Chimp Crazy?" And I was like, I saw the thumbnail. I did see a picture, but I did not see it. And she said, "Go watch it now." And so the next day after that podcast, I went and watched episode 1 because it's a 4-part series on HBO Max. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I Googled and found out that the same people who made this doc docuseries made Tiger King, and it made a lot of sense. Made a lot of sense. So let's get into it. Oh, heck yeah. Okay, I might do that. I might do that. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna let y'all know so y'all can pick me up from the airport. Yeah, heck yeah. And I can save money on gas and stuff. Yes, I like that. Okay, that's the plan. December, I'm flying into Kansas City. Um, thanks, Bear. Okay, so something just flew in my face. Doggone nets. Let me cover my coffee up so it don't fly in there. All right. So sorry, y'all. Physical difficulties, not technical difficulties, physical difficulties, because a doggone net just hit me in the face. Let's talk Chimp Crazy from HBO Max. Oh my gosh, this docu series is wild. So, like I said in my intro, the same directors and producer that brought us Tiger King, what was that, 2020 or 2021? That just was wild and crazy. It introduced us to Mr. Joe Exotics. Free that man, free Joe. Free him till I see him. Uh, has came at it again. Now, rumors were circulating, and I think they're still going to do it, but rumors were circulating that they're going to do a Reptile King type docu series, which, oh my gosh, that's going to be wild and crazy and probably a little scary. But rumor has it that he's been interviewing some reptile people down in Florida, like Tyler Nolan and other people. So, and I think McCarthy's Wildlife. So we might get a reptile related, reptile king type, snake king, whatever, coming up. But for right now, to hold us over, he gave us Chimp Crazy, a docu series, and this is season 1. So he plans on doing more. Because they haven't listed season 1s, but the synopsis says, I will read y'all IMDb synopsis. It says that a former nurse turned exotic animal broker, Tanya Haddock, spends her days caring for animals in captivity, referring to herself as the Dolly Parton of chimps. I'm going to get to that in a second. However, her limitless love for one chimpanzee spins into a wild cat and mouse game when authorities and the animal rights group, we know PETA, through the experiences, Tanya and the other chimp moms, Chimp Crazy is a series that unveils a bond between owners and their highly intelligent great ape pets, as well as the welfare of the animals themselves. Now, it's only 4 episodes. And it's on HBO Max. I highly, highly recommend. If you love Tiger King, if you like me was a fan of Tiger King and not the people, but just a fan of the show, you definitely got to watch this. To me, this is worse. And by worse, I mean crazier. By crazier, I mean best. As far as the circumstance, the animals involved, and the people involved. I'm going to keep saying free Joe as long as this woman is still out free because, in my opinion, she needs to be in jail. Like, to me, it's a double standard. She need to be in jail, in my opinion. But I digress. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Okay, so episode 1. Episode 1. I'm not gonna spoil the whole series for y'all because I want y'all to go see it. I'm not gonna tell y'all how it ends. I'm not gonna tell y'all whether she gets in trouble with authorities or not. I'm not gonna tell y'all whether or not the so-called missing chimp is actually missing or dead. I want y'all to go watch this series. So I'm not spoiling none of that for you, but I will spoil episode 1. Episode 1, this woman was so crazy and so wild. And so one thing about animal rights people, I mean, not animal rights, but animal people, including us, I'm putting us in this category because we a little cuckoo to be owning a lot of snakes and lizards and gators and all this other stuff, venomous. But one thing that makes these folks crazy is when they in front of a camera, they say some things that they probably should have never told the public. And this woman definitely did, her and her husband. She admitted to in her heyday when she was rescuing chimps and monkeys and stuff that she there was one baby monkey that came in sick and they could not get it to eat. The vets could not get it to eat. And so she came up to the bright idea of, and she was pregnant at the time, or she had just had a baby at the time. If you see where I'm about to go, she admitted on camera, and her husband admitted on camera that her husband came home to find her breastfeeding their newborn baby son on one titty and the chip on the other. And her response, well, it's a baby and a baby gotta eat. I had to when I saw that, I had to pause that episode. And then I went into the Beyond the Scales group chat and all I said was, bruh. Like it was one of those where you just had to just get it out, your response out. I was like, breastfeeding a monkey? And Candy said, just wait till episode 2. y'all, y'all. And she's right. Episode 2 was a lot worse than episode 1. If you thought breastfeeding a baby monkey was crazy, I'm going to say this, and I know because y'all know I'm very vocal. I'm very vocal. I say what's on my mind. I say what's on my heart. I say it's on my spirit. I hate PETA with a passion. PETA is the bane of everyone's existence. PETA ain't nothing but a fake activist group. They don't care about the animals. In fact, the statistics are there. PETA kills more animals than they rescue. The stats are there. The proof is in the pudding. All you got to do is look it up and read. But I will say, in this situation, I actually agree with them crazy truckers. I actually agree with PETA for once in my life, and I never thought I'd see the day. Woo, this crazy woman, Tanya. And don't get me wrong, Tanya does love. I do believe in my heart of hearts that she really do love these animals, but she's also bat crazy, totally, totally crazy out her wild mind, and should not own a primate of any sort, an ape, a chimpanzee, one of them little finger monkeys, like them little tiny. She shouldn't own none of that. And they did explain how she makes so much money, and how she can afford so many animals and so many land and stuff. She was an animal broker, so she wasn't just collecting exotic animals for herself, but she was also the middleman between if someone wanted a pet alligator, or they wanted a pet monkey, or they wanted a pet kangaroo or zebra. She was the middle person, so she got paid the big bucks. She said on a good day she would get paid like 50,000 just to transport, help purchase the animal from the breeder, and then transport to the rightful, well, not rightful, but to the new owner. um and so that's how she made most of her big bucks. And it was just correct. The title speaks for itself. It's crazy how she was able to operate and do what she do, but she should not own any exotic animal. Like, this woman was psycho out her mind. And for me to agree with PETA, the organization I hate more than any politician, I hate them more than I hate Trump. And y'all know how I feel about that, man. For me to agree with PETA and say, yeah, y'all should take these animals, that woman's crazy. That woman's wild. And like I said, so this documentary was recorded in the middle of her animals getting seized because PETA had won the lawsuit. Other animal rights activists groups, the police, everybody came and they confiscated all her animals. So the people who made this documentary, who was in the middle of recording and interviewing her and a bunch of other people who also own apes and chimps and stuff like that, they were in the middle of seizing her animals. Even the camera crew, the police had to tell the camera crew, step back away. Y'all can't be on property while we doing this. So it had to be like outside in the front yard, like outside the property, to record from a distance. But all this was happening in real time. And so they collected the animals only to find out that one chimp, the most famous chimp, the chimp that's been in all of the films and movies from the 90s or early 2000s, Tonka, was missing. Now, she claimed that he had congestive heart failure and she did have documents, she did have paperwork from a vet that said he had congestive heart failure. So her excuse was right before the seizure of the other animals, he did pass away, and they believe it was a heart attack or whatever, a heart failure. But everybody else ain't buying it. They like, nah, she hiding this animal. And she got people helping her hide this animal. He may not be with her physically, but he is alive and somewhere out there. So this whole docu-series is them trying to find Tonka, and trying to catch her in the act. And again, I'm not spoiling this series because I want y'all to go watch it. I'm not spoiling whether Tonka really is dead or alive. I'm not doing none of that. All I'm saying is this is an amazing docu-series. This is one of the best. This is one of the best out there. It is so entertaining, so much fun. Um, and I highly, highly recommend it. I'm giving Chimp Crazy 10 out of 10 as my rating. Please go watch it. Again, it's only 4 episodes, probably 45 to 50 minutes a piece. But yeah, and it doesn't just follow Tanya in this series. They also interviewed and talked to other women who also, and a couple of men who have also like raised chimps and raised different monkeys and primates. And they even have the actor, I think it's Alan Cumming, they had him on there because he worked with Tonka in some movies. Like Tonka was a real animal actor, a real animal, you know, in Hollywood. Like any movie where there was a chimp in it back in the 90s and early 2000s, 9 times out of 10, that was Tonka. And so this chimp is so famous. And so they interviewed a lot of people, and it's just a well-rounded docu-series, a well-rounded show. So much fun. You're going to get a hoot out of these women who own these primates, but you're also going to be pissed off too. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna be very frustrating. But like I said, if you love Joe Exotic and all his crazy folks, um, then you're definitely going to love watching this show and all this crazy cast of characters. And I'm about to come back to the chat. Sorry, y'all. And then it was some else. Oh, they did touch on the story of the woman, the famous woman who had her chimp, the chimp attack with the face ripped off and messed up and stuff. They did touch on that in episode 2, that backstory, and they interviewed the daughter of that lady. They interviewed the daughter. Um, and so it was a great, great, great interview. And you got to see another side of that story, because all we know is the headlines, the news, the parodies, the people making fun, the movies that base off of, and TV shows that base off that event. But to hear from someone who actually, was in the know, like she grew up with that chimp. That girl grew up with that chimp. Um, and she was there throughout the whole aftermath of that incident. So to hear her story and give her side of the story, because she came on camera, she was like, "Look, everything y'all heard about that story with my mom and the chimp was a bunch of BS." And so it's good to hear from someone on the inside about what happened that day and that famous story that we all, know and heard of multiple times. But let's see. I'm sorry I neglected y'all. Father, you already know. Thanks for tapping in, Project Pat. Thanks for tapping in. Let's see. Let's see. I know I saw my niece Banner somewhere in there, skimming through. Yep. Don't worry, Banner. You didn't miss much. I talked random stuff for the first 15 minutes, so you didn't miss much. Yes, Father. Not breastfeeding the monkey. Yes, she did that. She did that. Peter ain't shit. You right. Say that again. Peter ain't shit. there are kids around me, so I'm trying not to cuss like I usually do, y'all. So if you see me blanking, I'm trying to self edit myself. So you know, my mom doesn't slap me across the head for cussing in front of babies. You're not that late, Brian. You're not that late. Thank you for tapping in. She needs to just get a job at a zoo and call it a day. I don't even think a zoo need to hire her. She do, but I don't even think a zoo need to hire her when they find out she breastfed a monkey. They might come to work. Her boss might come to work and see her, rock a bye baby to a little chimp to a orangutan. So we might not need her to work at a zoo. She don't need to be a vet. She don't need. She just buy everybody buy her monkey plushes and send it to her. Just buy her monkey plushes, monkey. Let her be like what we did in high school. When we all had the fake dolls. We touched on that on the podcast. When we all had in high school, we had to pretend like we were parents for home ec. Everybody sent her monkey plushes and monkey toys to let her do her own home ec raising monkeys that aren't real monkeys. Let's see. Banner said she was supporting these poachers, though. They shoot and kill the mother and father chimp and take the babies out the wild and sell them. Yeah, yeah. I did not know how, I did not know the complete backstory of how people, because I've always wondered in my head how these people get these baby tigers, how these people get these baby chimps. Like, I've always wondered, but I never looked it up. And you're right. It's sad and it's messed up. That's why I said this is the only time I will agree with PETA. I would never support PETA. I would never donate money to them, but this is the one thing I agree with them. Because how they got these babies is very messed up and very sad and tragic. And I hate poachers too. So yeah, yep. That whole industry is messed up. I am not spoiling anything. Now, if you ask her, did the monkey survive the breastfeed? Yes, it did. It lived. It lived through that. But drink it out of from a human and not a monkey. But I'm not spoiling the rest of the. If we talk about Tonka, whether the answer is yes or no or don't know, I'm not spoiling it. I want y'all to go see it. That's why I'm reviewing it. Vinny said, but did the monkey survive? Yeah, then it's not crazy if it were. Look, okay, Vinny, I'll give you this. I'll ask you this. If you came home from work and your lady is breastfeeding the monkey, you gonna look at her crazy. You gonna look at her differently. You probably gonna be like, you know what? I'm sleeping on the couch tonight. I can't. Like, you gonna look at her crazy. I'm just saying. It's on HBO branded, not Netflix. It's on HBO. HBO Max. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Bear said instant divorce. Hey, what she say? A baby's gotta eat. A baby's gotta eat. Instant divorce. I'm through. I'm just saying, I'm not saying break up with her, but you would look at her some type of way like, when I signed up to help rescue animals, this ain't what I thought. This ain't what I thought. This ain't what I signed up for. Oh my gosh, it's a great doc. It's a great show. It's amazing. They once again they got 2 out of 2. They got Tiger King and they got Chimp Crazy. Let's wait and see how this reptile documentary that they claim they're working on gonna come out, because it might be the best of the best, or it might set us back some and have US art working twice as hard than they normally are. Bear said, you better go to Whole Foods and get some goat's milk. Right? Right? There are so many other ways. Or what's the ones they be feeding the cats and dogs? It's probably goat's milk too, but it's the powder kind that they go to the feed store, the Hollywood feed and stuff, and get, or get some that you could do so much. There's so many other options before. Shoot, if you own a cow, go to the back under that cow. There's so many things you can do besides your son, your baby son that you just had fighting a bucket for milk. Competed like, hey, last time I checked, I wasn't born with a twin. What are we doing? Like, there's so many other options they got for you. And I told you this woman's wild. This woman's crazy. Tanya is a hoot. And her calling herself the Dolly Parton of apes is disrespectful, because Dolly Parton, despite all her plastic surgeries, look way better. Don't ever disrespect the goat. And Dolly Parton actually has talent, and Dolly Parton actually loves animals. Like, don't disrespect the goat like that by comparing yourself to her. If you compare yourself to the Dolly Parton chips because of your plastic surgery, baby, you should have went and got Dolly Parton surgeons, because you look a hot mess, Tanya. I'm sorry. Don't ever compare yourself to the queen. I'm a Dolly fan. I'm a stan. Don't ever disrespect the queen like that no more. Lost your food, mine. Okay, let's get to the next review. Go watch Chimp Crazy, please. It's on HBO Max. It's a hoot. It's very entertaining. 10 out of 10. Free Joe Exotic. Next up, we have Beetlejuice. Last weekend, I snuck off to the theaters to go watch this. And by stuck off, I just went to the movies. I really didn't sneak. And I watched Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is the long-awaited, long-anticipated sequel to the 1988, I believe. It was before I was born. And I was born in 89. 1988 film by the same name, Beetlejuice. And 1988, yep. And it's made by Tim Burton, the GOAT of Gothic films. And it pretty much, let's do the IMDb synopsis. Y'all know I like reading those. The IMDb synopsis says 3 generations of the Dietz family return home to Winter River after an unexpected family tragedy. Still haunted by Beetlejuice, Lydia's life soon is turned upside down when her rebellious teenage daughter discovers a mystery portal to the afterlife when someone says Beetlejuice's name 3 times and the mischievous demon gleefully return to unleash the very own brand of mayhem. Now, when they first announced this film, I was like, cool. When they said Tim Burton was coming back, I said, yes. When they announced that Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder, amongst other people, were returning to reprise their roles, I said, we in it, baby. We in it. When it comes to, everybody complains about remakes. Everybody complains about sequels. Everybody's complaining about prequels, and rightfully so, because if we look at everything in the past 5 years, 6 years, they've had more misses than they have hits. I can admit that, including my favorite company, Disney. Disney, Warner Brothers, Universal, everybody. If you compare original content, original stories to the remakes, prequels, intellectual properties, everything that we are familiar with, nostalgia, they've had more misses than they've had hits than the original projects. The original stories that people are taking risks. That a lot of these independent films like A24. Now, A24 got some misses too. But one thing I can commend A24, especially in their horror category, they at least risk a lot of money with some original content, with some original stories, and those have been way better than anything Universal, Disney, and Warner Brothers and Fox could give us. So I get that. But I cannot lie to y'all, when they first announced that Beetlejuice was coming out, I was excited. The little nostalgia 80s, 90s kid in me was like, yeah, I can't wait, because I was a big fan of the original. I was definitely a big fan of the animated cartoon. Do y'all remember that? The cartoon Beetlejuice? That was my jaunt. Every time I went to Universal Studios in Florida, they always had like a little Beetlejuice stage show, and every once in a while, the character himself would come out and do meet and greets. I would go searching high and low for that man. I love that character, so I was super excited. You have the original cast, the original director and writer, and then you throw in Jenna Ortega, who is like the it scream queen right now for this new generation. Chef's kiss, baby, chef's kiss. So I went to go see it, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, my expectations were high. It was very, very high. I'm not gonna lie. I try to have mid to low expectations for films, especially sequels. I couldn't for this one. I was giddy, giddy, giddy. And I went to see it, and it was good. It was good. I'm not gonna hold to y'all. It was actually good. Michael Keaton did not miss a beat as far as his acting goes as the main beat as Beetlejuice himself. It was just like I don't know if he ad libbed most of his lines in this one, but he was funny. Everything was great. I felt like a kid again watching this. Winona Ryder as Lydia coming back, but as a mom version of her character. Now Winona Ryder hit it out the park. It really felt like these characters did not skip a beat from the original. Of course, anything Jenna Ortega touches is gold. I'm very biased in that. She is one of my favorite new young actresses right now. From Wednesday to what was that horror, the independent horror film, the Pearl franchise. That whole franchise. She was in the first one. She was in the first film. She was good in that. It was just out out the park in acting. She really did hit. I really did believe her as a child raised by Lydia, by Winona Ryder's character, being this rebellious, and it kind of, she kind of touched a little bit on Wednesday, but not really. Not really. It was a totally different version. But still, you can see someone being raised by this character and being rebellious and being, um, you know, if you mom, I don't care what you got to say. I'm gonna do what I want. You suck. The whole world's like, it was really the angst teenage. Yeah, the angst teenager. Yeah, she really did a great job playing this role. The cinematography, going back to the underworld, to the afterlife, not underworld, afterlife, with the whole Beetlejuice characters, all those weird little characters we saw in the first film coming back for this one. It was really a lot of fun. Of course, y'all know that sandworm snake looking thing. I loved it. I loved it. I hate that my theater did not have that popcorn bucket. I think it was just AMC that has it. We don't have an AMC, but man, I wish we could have that popcorn bucket, because I would have spent that extra premium for that. But those were the positives. Now, I do have some negatives. I do have some gripes with this film. It's not perfect. It is not perfect at all. um, the villain is horrible. The villain is weak. It really isn't a villain at all, honestly. It was pointless to have her in there. And I think she's probably one of Tim Burton's girls. Y'all know when Tim Burton has a lady in his life, or a lady that he likes in particular, he throws her in every movie. He did that. The best was his ex-wife, who he collaborated with all the Johnny Depp films. I forgot her name. Dang it. And she's a famous actress. Oh my God. I'm gonna put some respect on her name. Hold on, let me put some respect on homie's name, because she is a respectable actress. But she was in every Tim Burton film and known the man. With Johnny Depp. I gotta get the name. Gotta get the name, because I gotta put some respect on her name. Helena Bonham Carter. Yes. Please forgive me. Helena Bonham Carter. She was in the Harry Potter films. Her resume is long. I had to put respect on her name. I could not just say Tim Burton's ex-wife. Uh, but so she was in all his, she was his biggest muse for most of his career, and then once they divorced and he moved on to the next, I forgot the next homegirl, but she was in most a lot of his recent films, and then the next homegirl, like every time he falls in love, them women be in his film. So I think rumor has it that he was dating or is dating this girl who plays the villain, and he really had no, he really had no reason for her to be there. Like there was no reason for this villain to be there. Like there was nothing, it was pointless. And another thing that I had an issue was the story. It was very pointless. Sorry, y'all, I had to cough. It was very pointless to have her here. There was like no story, no care. It was like they would give us a good story. Like it started off strong. It started off real strong with the family dynamic between Lydia and her daughter. And Lydia was getting had a fiance, and it started out great with the family dynamics and the drama. Then you had a death in the family, and so they had to go back home and all this stuff. Like it started off strong, but then it kind of veered off to three different side quests that did not align or make sense with each other. And then you had this so-called big baddie, big villainous woman who, but she was barely in the film. Like at some point you forgot she was there. You forgot there was a threat. At some point you forgot that there was something that anybody was in danger because she was gone for most of the film. They show her in the beginning doing some villain stuff. And then you got to the main characters and their story. And then you got all these different side quests because Lydia had to, Beetlejuice eventually the bad teenager, not following directions, they called out Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice come do what he do. But then you had all these other different side questions and side stories and side characters, and it veered off into four different things. But at the same time, you sitting there having fun and laughing and giggling and like, oh, Beetlejuice a fool. These folks are crazy. Oh, we're back in the afterlife. The afterlife, yeah, we get to see this and see that and yada yada. You're so having so much fun and laughing that you forgot this movie ain't got no story. This movie ain't making no sense. And then at the very last minute, they was like, oh shoot, there is a bad guy, there is a villain. Oh shoot, we gotta team up and do something and fight evil. We gotta figure this out. It's like it was like Tim Burton only focused on directing and his actors. His actors only focused on the job that they were given. Michael Keaton was only focusing on being Beetlejuice, that they forgot that the writers were left in the background. That the storytelling, the plot, the beginning, middle, and end was left in the background, just sitting there like, eventually they're gonna call us. Like the writers of the film was like, eventually Tim gonna call us and tell us what we supposed to do. It was just there was no story. There was no plot. When you really watch it from a filmmaking perspective, from a movie perspective, you're like, this makes no sense. And then when the villain finally shows back up, you like, where you been? We done forgot you existed. Who are you again? What's your name? Like, it was crazy. It was wild. But I will say it was more good than bad. Despite it not having a cohesive story or a story at all, despite it not having a plot, despite the villain not really being inexistent just to show up and look pretty and gothic because she's Tim Burton's girl or new muse of the week, it's like, what are we doing? Why was this made? And it's sad because then you'll have the people who hate sequels say this was pointless. Why was it made? Why did we bring this back? Why can't you leave the original alone? It gave them more fuel. It gave the haters more fuel. Had they stuck with the family storyline of Lydia's getting married, the teenager can't stand the boyfriend, the teenager get Beetlejuice involved, Beetlejuice is wilding out in the real world, or they're all wilding out in the afterlife. Will Lydia and the daughter reconcile, and will the daughter accept the boyfriend or not? That could have just been one. That could have been the movie, and it would have been a perfect 10 out of 10. That could have been the movie. But when you have all these extra side quests and things like that, like they had poor Willem Dafoe. I love Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe is an amazing actor. He did good in this. I actually laughed a couple times with him on screen. But his character was pointless. There was no point in him being there. No point. They just needed a good, you know, recognizable character to be in there. And it's just like he probably was just there for a day. He got a good paycheck just to be there for one day. And it's sad. It could have been a lot. It was good. Don't get me wrong. Beetlejuice is good, but it could have been a lot stronger. It could have put the naysayers of sequels and prequels and the naysayers of, oh, we're sick of all this nostalgia stuff. We sick all these remakes. We sick all these sequels. It could have put the naysayers to bed and say, shut up. But they failed. They failed at it. They failed. And so, unfortunately, I will have to give this a 7.5 out of 10. For me personally, it's not worth going to the theaters. It's worth seeing. I do recommend you go watch it, especially if you like the first film. If you like the first film, you're going to love this. You're going to have fun. Michael Keaton did his thing. Tim Burton, as a director, did his thing. And Jenna Ortega and Winona Ryder, they did their things. All the characters, all the side characters, all the cameos, it was amazing. But it would have been even better had they just dropped it on Netflix or HBO Max. Had they just dropped it on a streaming service. It's worth a streaming service. It's not worth spending gas money and then an extra $25 for the movie ticket and popcorn and drink to go to a theater. So unfortunately, I have to give, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, I have to give Beetlejuice a 7.5 out of 10. I had a good time. Don't get me wrong. I had a good time. I was smiling from cheek to cheek, ear to ear. That could have just been the nostalgia in me, the young, 90s kid in me, just happy to see Michael Keaton in this character, in this costume again. But I have to admit, there was no story. The villain was weak or non-existent. There was nothing substantial. There was nothing to give us a reason why we're coming back to this world. And that's unfortunate. So that's how I feel. I do recommend people go see it. I do recommend people go watch it, but wait till it come on streaming. Wait till it come on streaming. I don't know who's going to snatch it up. It could be HBO, it could be Netflix, it could be Amazon Prime. I don't know who's going to get the rights to stream it when it does come on stream. But wait, you can sit this out. You don't have to rush to a movie theater to watch it. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. You don't have to rush to a movie theater to watch this. But that's how I feel. Let's go back to the chitty chat. Let's see. Banner said, man, I love Jenny. She was so good in Wednesday. Yes. And I can't wait for season 2. I'm looking forward to season 2 of Wednesday, especially with Tim Burton in charge of this. He to me, Tim Burton did more with story and plot line, but he also had co-writers. He also had help. He didn't do it all on his own. But to me, Tim Burton had more of a story, more of characters, more actual villains in the Wednesday TV series than Beetlejuice. I think him, Michael Keaton, and Winona Ryder just wanted to do this film just to have a good time. And they didn't think about writers. Writers just sitting at home waiting to get that phone call. Like, hey, we are going to write a story to this, right? We are going to put a plot, right? There is going to be an actual threat, right? No, they just sitting at home twiddling their thumbs. What up, Nameless? What it do? Thank you for tapping in. Right, Brian? Yes, I agree. Willem Dafoe is the Joker we need. I agree. Yeah. I can't wait. Oh, I will be watching and reviewing Joker too. I can't wait to see it when it comes out. Um, but you know what? I would have loved to see Willem Dafoe. No disrespect to Joaquin Phoenix, but I think Willem Dafoe would have been fire. Fire, fire, fire. Let's see. Oh shoot, my chat was glitching. Let me go back. There we go. Bosa bosa. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. So that's it for this week's episode. I have reviewed Chimp Crazy. If you came in late, please watch the replay and see my um thoughts on that docu series on HBO Max. Please go watch it. Chimp Crazy on HBO Max. And I just did Beetlejuice that's out in theaters now. But again, I feel like you can wait. If you really, really want to go see it in theaters, sure. I think you're going to have a great time. I had a great time. I don't regret the money I spent, but I don't feel right in my heart of hearts telling other people to go spend their money. Just wait till it come on streaming and watch it then. It's a great streaming or rental type film. Next week, the next 2 weeks actually, it's going to be all about music. It's going to be all about music. I'm reviewing a couple of albums and a couple of singles. So be on the lookout for that. I believe next week is the Lady Gaga, Tanner Adele, and YG episode, the one I should have did 2 weeks ago, but had to cancel because of a storm and no Wi-Fi. And then the following week, there's a bunch of other Swedish House Mafia, Dolce, and Zed all released new music. And then this past yesterday, a bunch of more music just dropped. So I might throw those into these next two episodes, these next coming weeks, because I got some thoughts on some. Some are great, and some it's been a while since I ranted about music. You might get a rant out of me. So be ready for the next 2 weeks. Go go! Rant style, same thing, right? Thanks for tapping in, Coco. Um, but yeah, it's been a minute since I ranted, especially on music. So it's gonna be some coming up, but it's gonna be some good ones too. Some I highly recommend people to listen to. And then if you missed last night's Hair Down Friday, please go tap in. Keys, and Keisha and them, they all did a beautiful auction for JD, who passed away a couple of weeks ago unexpectedly. They did an auction selling off his animals. And I didn't watch the whole thing. I'm watching the replay right after I get off this live. I didn't watch the whole thing because I did not get any sleep the previous night and I was exhausted running off 2 hours of sleep. So I will be watching the replay. But I heard that they did good. I heard that some people picked up some nice animals at the auction, and all the money went to JD's wife and kids for funeral expenses. Because, like we said, it was a very tragic, unexpected death. It wasn't nothing that we saw coming, especially his family. They didn't see coming. So it was for a great cause. Shout out to Keys and all the suspects for helping out and doing that last night. Also, the weekend isn't over. Weekend Warriors are taking over. Speaking of Keys, him and Keisha will be going live. We'll be going live today during Bob Vu's Southeast Reptile Expo in Atlanta, live from Atlanta. Keys is doing a live podcast. I believe it's going to be Balls and Things. I'm not sure, but the title, but it's going to be live at the Southeast Reptile Expo. So please tap in and watch that, support them. And then tonight, Banner touched on it on the chat, on the comments just now. Wiz, Keys, Row 5 Votes, and the Wiz Tang Clan, the Sophisticated Ignorance podcast is tonight. And Banner said it right here in the chat that Wiz is continuing the auction on his channel tonight. For whatever snakes that were left from last night. And so please come and support. So if you miss Hair Down Friday's auction, please come in tonight for Sophisticated Ignorance so they can help find these animals new homes. And so JD's wife and kids could have the funds to help them as they transition to a whole new life without him, unfortunately. Rest in peace, JD. You were, even though I didn't know you long, you were such a good dude, so nice, very supportive of me. always gave me words of encouragement, always said I was doing a good job and that you was proud. And you did that for a lot of people. So please, please, please support JD's family. And I appreciate you being a part of the community for the short time that you were. You were such a positive dude, super positive, always in everybody's chats, always supporting. Um, and you were doing big things. You were on to doing big things. So please, y'all, support, support, support. Let's get these animals new homes, new places where they could be utilized, and let's get the funds over to his wife and kids. And Banner said, Levance is putting up a DG Clown Boy. If anybody wants to donate anything to get the auction hit, we is up for sophisticated ignorance. Thank you, Banner, for all that info. I appreciate it. And yeah, even though I'm not in the DG Clown projects, I think anything coming out of Levance is going to be fire because Levance is nothing but quality. Nothing but quality. He is a goat and a legend in the making. His animals speak for itself. His collection, his family, they speak for themselves. So if you are in the DG Clown Project, why wouldn't you take the chance and get one from Levance? Straight fire. Get a straight fire snake. So shout out to Levance, shout out to Keys, shout out to the suspects, shout out to all the Wiz Tang clan, everybody. Let's do it. Let's do it. Row 50, Mr. Floppy, Weekend Warrior. Thank you for listening while you play Call of Duty. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all a little secret. One of my future pickups might be from Mr. Floppy, Mr. Short Shorts himself. And I can't wait. It's gonna be a banger female. I can't wait. I gotta pay off these bills and all this other stuff, but thank you for working with me, Ro, and I can't wait to get that girl. She is fire, fire, fire. But yeah, tap in with Ro. He's working ball pythons, soon to be working chondros. He has chondros, but he's growing them up. They're babies right now, but when when the time come, y'all better be ready. Cause we gon' big up Bill Stiegel. We gonna big up the mayor. We're gonna big up all the other chondro breeders. But you best believe once we get them, as Brian say, Hoochie Daddy Productions. Once we get them productions in the chondros. Matter of fact, by the time Ro does produce chondros, I might be ready, like physically, like have a house and a property and a shed and everything, a snake shed and everything. So by the time his animals grow up and breed, my first chondro gonna be a Hoochie Daddy production. Shout out to Ro 50. Shout out to Brian. Shout out to Coco, Bosa, Banner, everybody who tapped in. Bear. I thank all of y'all. Nameless, everybody who tapped in. Brittany, always Brittany listening. Vinny, everybody. Even those who don't comment but listen in, because I know y'all there. I see the stats. You two tell me the stats of who listen live. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the replay gang. Everybody who listened in the background. I love y'all. I thank y'all. Weekend Warriors. We still in it. Keys, Constrictors this afternoon, live from the Southeast Reptile Expo in Atlanta. Then we as Sophisticated Ignorance. I think Nikki and Jason are Irresistibles. I think they are not Nikki and Jason. Dang, it's too many Nikki's. Nikki and Kurt. Sorry, it's too many Nikki's in this hobby. Nikki and Kurt, Irresistibles. I think they're going live this afternoon, like at 3 something. If so, listen in on their podcast as well. In Your Circle, I love them. Them and Angel do a great job with In Your Circle podcast. And then also Vance from that's what happens when you don't sleep good. Vance from Blue Zombie, Dead Man. He has his own podcast every Saturday at noon. Please watch and tap into his podcast as well. Bro, thank you for tapping in. Love you, brother. Love you. Thank you for always supporting me. So yeah, replay gang, as Coco said, replay gang. If you missed earlier when I reviewed Chimp Crazy and Beetlejuice, great content. And I love y'all. I will see y'all later this evening on Sophisticated Ignorance, or I might see y'all in the chats, inside the chats of Keys Live from Southeast Reptile Expo. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, everybody who are vending this weekend or are going to a show, planning to buy some nice pickups. Y'all have fun. I'm gonna sit at the house and record videos and vlogs that I keep saying I'm gonna put out and haven't put out yet. That's what I'm doing this Saturday. And be on the lookout. If not today, definitely Monday, you will see a vlog on both this channel and my Shed Yourself vlogs, my second channel. You'll get double dose of creative. And I would see y'all later. Love y'all. Peace.
Cinema podcast stepping in. Your one-stop review, let it sink in. Hip-hop vibes, we break it down. Laughs and insights all around. Every episode, spitting truth. Old school jams and the latest youth. We keep it real, no sugarcoat. Pop culture on the mic we wrote. So tell your friends and hit subscribe. Make cinema here to vibe. Tune in weekly, don't miss a beat. We're the hottest review in your street. Make Cinema Podcast stepping in. Your one-stop review,